Paul concludes in verse 18 that a life that is where you are led by the Spirit is a life where you are not under the law. Now, I believe the law that he's talking about here comes from the previous passage where he talks about a law where the good that you don't want to do, or the good that you want to do, you don't do, and the bad law that, or the bad thing that you don't want to do, that you do. He says, we who live by the Spirit, we are free from that law. Paul clearly says that in Romans chapter 7 as well, when he says that he finds another law in his members. So he's basically talking about three laws in Romans 7 and 8. He talks about the law of the Spirit of life, and he talks about the law of Moses and the Jewish customs. And then he found another law which he never knew existed, which was not common knowledge to anybody in his time. It was felt by everyone, but it was not coined, if you want to call it like that. It was not expressed. And Paul said, I found another law. And that's a law in my members, that the good thing that I want to do, I cannot do it when I'm under the law of Moses or when I seek justification by the flesh. And now he comes here in verse 18 and he simply says that that when we are led of the Spirit, we are not under that law. And then I want to conclude and put into that as well, and that we are also not under the law of Moses anymore. That we are not under a law wherein we need any form of righteousness. For by the Spirit is our righteousness, by the Spirit is our life, and it's not from the works of the law of Moses, and that we are also now set free from the law of sin and death, which is the third law that Paul talked about when he wrote Romans 7. So that is Galatians 5 verse 18.